Okay all, this one should be quick, and I don't think I'll have to spend another 5 minutes talking about the surface level. No, in this video, I will be telling you everything you need to know about singletons. There really isn't much to them. If you have programmed before, you might know about the existence of the singleton, and even if you haven't, I'm sure that you can imply what it is. In ECS, or at least in Flex, a singleton is a component that is never attached to another entity. It just exists on its own, with no one else. They are commonly used for manager functions and orchestrating a program, but I will show you them in the simplest form and mimic data that you could find in a settings menu. Let's make a struct for it. My settings menu has these three options inside of it. We can make it a singleton because we only want this data to exist in one place in our game. We don't want to attach the settings component to our entities. That wouldn't make sense. Here's how we make a singleton. We just put ECS singleton set, give it the world, the settings struct, and then inside of that we're going to put in all of our options. So 60 FPS, inverted controls equals false, I don't know who uses them, and then the run button is shift as usual. That's how you set it. And if you want to get the singleton, you can write ECS singleton get, and then you pass in the world and the component, and then you get back the settings component. Or more specifically, the settings singleton. Okay, example time. Maybe I want to update all of the player components now because the settings have updated. Well, I wonder if there's a way to deal with updates to a component. Let's just use a query though. Here's how you can put a singleton in a query. Here's the query with the player component. It should look fairly familiar to you by now. Now, to add a singleton to this, we first have to find all of the settings components, which there is only one, and that one instance is the entity associated with the settings component itself. If you remember me talking about this in my first query video, that is. Essentially, we want to find the entity that has the settings component and is the settings entity. Just like this. By the way, if you're going to be getting the settings singleton many times, this is actually faster than using the singleton get method. Alright, I need to address this quickly. One big misconception that I need to mention is even if there will only ever be one entity with a component, it does not mean that it needs to be a singleton. I once made this mistake while I was learning Flex to make the player a singleton. It's a single player game, so there should only be one player. Don't do this. I regretted it later because once something is a singleton, you can't add more components to it, and you definitely don't want to make components that look like this. You want to break them out as much as possible. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, that's it. You've gone through another ECS concept, and this time I'm pretty confident in saying that there really is nothing else to learn about singletons. Also, I should hopefully be making videos a little faster now, because my schedule has cleared up tremendously and the concepts are a little easier to follow. I will be explaining one last thing before we move to Raylib. Modules. Until then, good night.